You know, as an artist, I can't go through a single piece without having some type of music go through my head while working. Hell, when I'm doing almost anything, I have my headphones on while listening to music, whether it's washing the dishes, eating, working out, or just plain old existing. Now, if you've taken even just 2 seconds looking at my channel, you know that there's a slight tinge of anime and manga influenced content. So imagine if you combine the anime aesthetic, music, and a touch of the idol entertainment market, you get the phenomenon known as Vocaloid. Back in my time during middle school, liking anime was pretty weird. It wasn't like now where everyone could just go out and say like Demon Slayer or Jujutsu Kaisen. But if you also said you listened to fake computer generated music by hand-drawn idols, people might just take you outside and jump you just for the fun of it. However, this video is not going to be about Vocaloid, but let me just give you guys some backstory before diving into today's artist because it does hold some pertinence to him. Vocaloid was a singing voice synthesizer software project that was actually not created in Japan, but in Pompey Fraba University in Barcelona in the year 2000, led by Kenmochi Hideki. While this whole project was not actually made to be taken seriously as a, full-on project, it was then backed up by this company, and in 2004, the Vocaloid software was complete. I'm not going to talk about the complete history because it goes into the Elvis project, then the Daisy project, and many renditions of the finalized Vocaloid software like Vocaloid 1, Vocaloid 2, etc. But Vocaloid 2 in particular would be the quote-unquote debut of Hatsune Miku. While she was technically the 7th Vocaloid to be created, she was undoubtedly the biggest one. This may be a bit embarrassing to say, but the first concert I ever went to was a Hatsune Miku concert. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think I'd enjoy it, but goddamn when the music started playing, it was hype as all hell. But out of all the tracks sung by Hatsune Miku, Black Rock Shooter is one that birthed the titular character herself, Black Rock Shooter, that was originally conceptualized by Ryohei Huke. And what do you know, he's the topic of today's discussion. Ryohei Huke, or just Huke for short, is a Japanese illustrator who is best known for his original character designs, mainly the many iterations of the Black Rock Shooter character herself. He also drew fan art for the Gears of War series, produced work for the Metal Gear Solid series, and the visual light novel Steins Gate. Big name series to say the least, and his range in genre is vast. Since he doesn't do any comic book work per se, I'll just be looking at his character designs and his illustrations while babbling on about anything that I find interesting. Huke is a digital artist, and from the time that this video of his process being posted, I think he may be using an old version of Coral Painter. I highly doubt it's Photoshop, but if you guys know, please let me know in the comments. This video was posted in 2011, so he may or may not be using a more modern, updated software. However, regardless of the program he uses, it's the technique that's something to take note of. In my video talking about Ryuko Motozaki, I mentioned that an aspect of good character design is being able to discern who the characters are just by using their silhouette, and it perfectly checks out for his character designs as well. Black Rock Shooter herself is an iconic character design. She has a massive gun, her long pigtails, basically cues that let viewers say, yeah, that's her, right? And it extends to the other character designs as well, like Deadmaster, Black Gold Saw, and Strength. Yeah, these are pretty weird names, but they all have particular aspects in the designs that make you notice them right away. Although personally, I do prefer her iteration in the game rather than her iteration in the OVA or anime. Does anybody remember that game, by the way, for the PSP? Fun fact, this was the very first time I heard a song from 1OK Rock, No Scared, the opening for this game, which is funny because it's such an intense tone difference considering the scream of rock singing and these cute anime characters, which is something I'll be bringing up later in regards to his style. Also, another side note, this opening was animated by Ufotable. Of course, I always knew that this opening was animated really well, but now it all makes sense. Anything they touch just turns to gold. Anyway, let's move away from the Black Rock Shooter characters and look at his character designs for Steins Gate. A good tip on design characters, especially if you want to convey their personality, is through their posture. You could tell from Rintaro from the way that he has his hands in his pocket, his messed up hair, his hanging belt, that he doesn't care much for social standards, or rather that he's just not really socially aware. And I won't say too much about his character since I don't want to spoil anything, but he does develop more traits beyond his design. Mayuri has her arms up and clenched fists, showing that she's more of an energetic go-getter type. And Hitaru has his hands folded, which shows that he's more reserved but keeping a chill vibe with his sandals that he has on. The other characters also show a lot in terms of their personality through their body language as well. Another good aspect of character design is cohesion. In something like, say, Danganronpa, you can kinda get away with making each and every character pretty bananas, since that game's art design seems pretty contingent on colorful characters and extreme situations. However, each design Huke does is pretty in line with the other characters he makes. Sometimes when making a set of character designs, you would want to start with your main character and then base all the other characters from that. I mentioned this a bit previously, but notice in Black Rock Shooter the game, the protagonist Stella is designed differently than the original Black Rock Shooter design. I love this decision because, well, not only is this not really the same character, it also coincides with the game's lore and setting. Strictly in terms of design, she had a more supernatural and mythical feeling about her, while Stella definitely has a more science fiction feeling, which is accentuated by the metal appendages around her. Now, if you look at the other character designs, we can see how they're based around each other, whereas in the original Black Rock Shooter designs fit better with themselves. Huke also does well in Steins Gate in creating down-to-earth but distinctive designs, since they are just technically ordinary people. Well, to be fair, Rentaro is far from ordinary. I absolutely find it fascinating the way he goes about his more complex illustrations. I talked about silhouettes in the character design section of this video, but what's interesting is that he uses a large vague silhouette of what is to become the overall composition of the piece. It's sort of like he carves into the silhouette. It's like he's actually able to see and improvise from just the glob he's made, which honestly I believe is a testament to his skill. Most artists will probably need a sketch, thumbnails, go over different layers with different compositions, but Huke just goes right into it. And a staple to his style is him adding texture to almost everything. There's a video you can find on YouTube where he's doing a drawing demo and he reveals that he has a library of images that he took himself of grit, rubble, concrete, cement, etc. Basically all kinds of textured surfaces, and I assume he adds it on the overlay layer or some particular layer mode to give his illustrations that added texture. And it goes back to what I mentioned previously about that tone difference with him drawing very cute anime characters but incorporates such a gritty texture to it. He also tops off with gothic elements that really defines this as his unique style, and I love that dichotomy since he really pulls it off well. However, it is not to say that he can only draw cute anime girls. He can draw some realistically proportioned characters, and he's done some illustrations that align with the gritty texture he adds to it. Very dark and mature, I would say. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, he's done work for Metal Gear Solid, Gears of War, hell, even Halo. His range is just so vast when it comes to his style, and it shows that he's not limited to just cute anime girls. Just a small note, those who draw in a very stylized manner more than likely can draw in a realistic way. In fact, I would even go as far as to say that they could only draw in this stylized way because they know how to draw realistically. In short, just learn the fundamentals. Huke is an artist that I guess I was always sort of aware of at a young age due to my awareness of the Black Rock Shooter character, but never really appreciated until I developed more as an artist, and more as a fan of anime. He's got a good grasp of doing unique character designs while at the same time making them play off each other very well. His particular use of texture is an added element that really brings out his style. However, that style is by no means limited, as evident from the wide range of works he has done. Huke has a couple of art books floating around if you could get your hands on them. He also has a Pixiv and a Twitter you could follow if you so please to do so. The Black Rock Shooter series, franchise, character is very enigmatic, but she is a staple character I think that anyone who is slightly into anime would run across. I don't recall the anime being that good, however if you haven't seen Steins Gate, that is a good example of a really good anime, and visual novel if you want to experience it, and I highly suggest you do because you will not be disappointed. What is good, YouTube? I finally uploaded another video of an analysis. This time I decided to do Huke. I think Black Rock Shooter is a character that most people, if they don't know, they may have already seen once or twice just through being a fan of anime and manga. So I decided to, dive deeper into this artist because this artist has been sort of in my backlog, I guess, so now was the goodest time as ever. It's because Tatsuki Fujimoto was not an artist that I planned on tackling anytime soon, but as the Chainsaw Man trailer came out, I decided to do his video very quickly, so that happened. But now I finally did this artist. Once again, I see many people requesting me to do certain artists, and I just know I see you guys, and I'm adding it to the list. There's some artists that I'm going to tackle sooner than others. There are some artists that I have only read like maybe one of their works, or I'm not really familiar with them, so it may take a bit longer for me to, you know, read up some of the things they've done or check out some of the works, just to, you know, familiarize myself with their work. So just be patient with me. I will get to them eventually, and I think eventually I will show off the list that I keep mentioning of the artists that I plan to look at, because just to give you guys reassurance that I am looking and I'm keeping track. So just know that. And by the time, and I feel bad because this video, I feel like it took me a long time to make. I tried to keep out a weekly schedule, but I think it hasn't been 2 weeks, but I think it's been like 11-12 days since I upload this from my last upload. So yeah, this one, I don't know why it took me so long, but it's here now. Hopefully you guys like this artist. I don't see a lot of people talking about this artist either, so, you know, I'm glad to put some exposure. Currently I think this Huke did art for a Hololive YouTuber. I didn't mention that because I only recently figured that out. It's this character with not green hair, orange hair. I think it's Kiara, or I don't know. But if you want my opinions on the Hololive thing or the Hololive scene on YouTube, just look up Scam Bullies. Just look up his video talking about VTubers, and his opinion or his reaction is similar to mine. So yeah, I'm not that much into the Hololive VTuber thing. So anyway, thank you for watching this video, especially up to the end, because I know most people don't watch all the way to the end. And if you want to subscribe, go ahead and do that too. Once again, I think I'm almost at 1K. I think I've long stopped counting. I sometimes don't look at my analytics or my subscriber count for like a few days because I'm just not interested anymore. Well, not that I'm not interested anymore, but a watch pot doesn't boil. So yeah, again, thank you for watching. Like and comment if you want. Share the video if you want to. And yeah, be sure to subscribe. And I hope to see you guys in the next one.